Viewer discretion is advised.
And welcome in to the FC NewsCast, episode 5. So I'm going to be doing this first part solo again. Max had to go to Betty by, or something like that. I don't know, I'm extrapolating at this point. But, nevertheless, I am here to bring you the news, no matter how bad it hurts. And of course, for the first segment, we're going to talk about what happened in the recent battles. In case you guys lived under a rock and you didn't know what happened at all, the maps that we played on were Guardian and Pitfall. So yeah, Guardian being asymmetrical, Pitfall being symmetrical. Guardian was a red assault, Pitfall was a blue assault, and essentially blue ended up sweeping again, 14 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie in on Guardian, and on Pitfall it was 12-9 in favor of blue. In terms of the actual stats and the squads that did the best, VBD ended up having a perfect night tonight with 7 wins and 0 losses. Sparta was close behind them with 7 wins and 4 losses. Animus was right behind them, surprisingly. Animus of all squads, who's been, rising the ranks and kicking ass. From Blue, who got 7 wins and 5 losses. And then right after that your fourth one would be Blackguard with 5-0. And then to cap it out, the newly created squad, Net of the Sky, which is a Myth squad, which him and I are actually discussing at the current moment. Who knows? I may end up being assimilated. Some other surprising things that ended up happening, or actually it's not surprising that both the mixes went 0-1, to be completely honest. Legion of Dawn ended up making an appearance for Blue, 2 wins, 0 losses. And Legacy, surprisingly, right after Net of the Sky, ended up going 5-9-1. 5 wins, 9 losses, 1 tie. 9 losses? What is happening, Legacy? Like, you guys used to be up at the top, and now, I don't know, man. In terms of the auxiliary attacks, for those of you guys wondering about the war map, because everybody should, Red ended up assaulting 2, and Blue assaulted Skyline. Blue ended up winning. Skyline, they both won their respective maps. The red assault on 2 was successful, and the blue assault on Skyline was successful. The likelihood of victory for blue on Skyline was 93%, so it's no wonder they did theirs. But red ended up pulling out an upset, and their likelihood of victory, their LOV, was only 37%, and they still were able to take that approximate third and just kick some ass with it. In terms of the overall war map, because I know everybody's dying to know about the war map, at least you should be, because I love you. Anyway, Blue currently controls 6 sectors, 3 on their side and 2 of the central ones. And because the red assault on 2 was successful, they were able to jab a little hole there. So the complete mid, so middle sector, mid of the middle sectors. I don't even know how I would say that. Anyway, Blue has 3 of the maps, Wreckage, Vertigo, and Skyline, whereas Red has 2. 2 being the map, of course, not having 2 maps. And so, yeah, Blue was able to also, by winning Pitfall tonight, kind of knock themselves into the bottom left side of the war map, the sector right before the capital sector. And so, the way in which it's looking right now to me, guys, if you guys want me to make my little predictions here, just by taking a look at it. Well, 2... I don't think Blue is going to assault with a fight, I think, because it's right next to Skyline with 26 brigades. I think they're going to auxiliary that one. It only makes sense to. The path from the Haven sector, which is a completely red-controlled sector by Guardian. You guys should be looking at the war map while I talk about this, by the way. It helps you visualize things. There's a minefield right there. There's 2 minefields. I don't think anybody's going to move that way. I think that way's pretty much blocked off. And looking at the maps that are available for attack, we have Astro, Deuterium, Haven, and Cold Storage. And from what I would say is that people don't really like new things. People usually go for maps that are familiar. So I'm going to say that Blue is going to assault, not Deuterium, because I don't remember anyone liking Deuterium. Astro, I can't place. I don't remember ever seeing that. Cold Storage, I don't think they're going to try to take. But Haven, though. Haven is pretty much, that is well known. It's a 4v4, and that's something that Blue's been excelling in. I have a feeling they're going to take Haven. And then in terms of what Red's going to do, to be honest, the only thing that I see Red doing is either attacking Shatter or attacking Pitfall, one of the two. They might go with Shatter because it's a larger map and therefore they've been doing better with those. However, it is DLC, and last time I checked, both sides, especially Red's numbers, suffered when DLC came out. So it would be a bit of a trade-off. They could attack Pitfall again. In terms of the stats for Pitfall, actually, let me go ahead and pull that back up. It came down to the second to last game out of 21. It was originally supposed to be 12 out of 23. I'm assuming that was shortened because, yeah. It didn't come down to the 20th game, so it was pretty close. It didn't have the tie that we saw in Guardian. The first game of Guardian, by the way, a blue mix of all things versus Legacy 1 and game of Slayer and Conflict, actually. Came down to a 530-530 tie. Guardian definitely was kind of blue heavy. They were supposed to play 27 games, 14 out of 27. They got to the 21st, so Red only ended up winning 7 games up until the point that Blue won 14. But Pitfall, on the other hand, like I said, was quite a bit closer. I remember especially in the beginning, Red had that nice bulk of 3 in a row. It kind of seemed like Red was getting an upper hand, and then Blue kind of came in, and then they went back and forth for a bit, and then Blue started winning pretty much 2 for every 1 Red win, and from that point on, it was done for. But like I said, it was much closer, so looking at the format, they could very well attack Pitfall again. And I think if I were doing the planning, which if you guys are listening to this going, hee, I know Blue's plans now because Toast is in high command, I don't do the battle planning for Blue. This is just strictly looking at it and kind of taking a amateur guess at it, so to speak. I'm going to predict that the maps for next week, you guys can hold me to this, are going to be Haven and Pitfall. I'm not going to put like a V-Book event on it or anything. But yeah, so that's my prediction. In terms of general FC news, there isn't much. The forums have been a little dead recently, which is something that I think we should all change. If you're listening to this, I want you to go and create a thread somewhere and start things talking, whether it be suggestions or in something about, not in the war zone, because it's always just these battle results go up and then it's just troll. Maybe in one of the departments, video department, web department, graphic design, etc. Maybe some multimedia. I know I'll be posting there. General discussion, just something. Make a post out there. That's my mission to you guys this week, is make at least 2 threads and respond to at least 5 other threads. I think we need to get forum activity up, guys. So this has been my public service announcement, so to speak. I also want to remind all you guys to send in listener mail. We've got some great ones, and I know you guys are going, but Toast, you're not even talking about them on air. Well, it's because I saved this for the podcast. You're going, well, Toast, you haven't been doing a podcast for 2 weeks. And yes, I'm sorry. The first week, I was sick as hell. That was when I was I was fading in and out of being sick repeatedly. This last week, I just simply was not able to make it. We'll put it that way. There was a scheduling issue. And in terms of the day in which they're going to be after this week, that might end up even changing. So the podcast is going on hold for a tiny bit. Don't worry, it will be back eventually. But yeah, other than that, FC news, I think, has pretty much been covered. If you guys stay tuned, which of course you should, we're going to come back after this break, and you're going to hear some great and awesome video game news brought to you by our very own Max Doge, who will be joining me for that segment. We're going to talk about some great things, including Battlefield 4, of course, with the beta being released, some awesome stuff about Destiny, about the consoles in general, just a bunch of awesome stuff. So definitely stay tuned, don't change that dial, and we will be right back after this break. welcome back into the FC Newscast, episode 5. Of course, Max is with me.
Yes, I am indeed with you through the interwebs.
Through the interweb, the power of the interwebs.
Exactly.
Which also, the power of the interwebs is the way in which we were able to get some of this great news and be able to talk about it for you guys. And so, as always, let's start up with some big topics. And of course, there's something very, very big that I think Max should address.
Well, there's a lot of things that are very big in this world. Particularly your mom, for example. But we won't talk about that because this is the gaming news portion. To start off, we're going to talk about Destiny from the lovely people over at Bungie Studios. The weekly update is unchained and on the loose. So the new weekly update is back out in the wild, and so long are the mail sacks of yesteryear. So if you listen to the last podcast and newscast, you might think, Max Doggy may be right with the releasing of Destiny, in 2014. And just to, help further my claim, the box art for Destiny was released. It looks awesome. Not as cool as the original one, though, but I imagine to sell more copies of the game that wouldn't already be sold by all the fanboys, they put 3 Guardians on the cover and put the Traveler in the background instead of the Traveler being front and center. Do you like the change of the cover, Toast, or?
I do. I think just having the Traveler was okay, but then actually adding the Guardians on I thought was a nice touch.
Well, that is wow, I am having a bad day. Sorry, I just woke up like 10 minutes ago from a nap that I wasn't planning on having. I was watching a football game, and then I woke up at 3:59. We record at 4, so I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's the opinion from Toast. So that is now written into law, if I'm not mistaken. And Yes, so Destiny pre-orders now grant access to the beta, which will be launching in early 2014. If you pre-ordered before October 1st. Your retailer should be emailing you some sort of code, which is 3x3 code, so 3 digits dash 3 digits dash 3 digits for a total of 9 characters. And then you go to Bungie.net and you sign in with your Xbox Live gamer tag or your PlayStation Network or whatever Bungie account you have on file. You put that code in, and then it'll unlock access to the beta code generator when the beta comes out in early 2014. And I received mine from GameStop already. Toast has not, so don't be
I'm actually checking mine right now. And the reason why I'm checking it as we speak, guys, is to actually find out whether or not I received it, because I'm part of a special group that actually pre-ordered it the day that it was available for pre-order. In case you guys were wondering, well, Toast, what day was that? It actually was the day of the first of the Capital Battle of Rec 1. And I went in because my mic broke, and so I had to ditch the squad that I was leaving and put them in the care of the great and almighty Nicholas Sapien. And he took over while I went to GameStop and bought a new headset. And they were like, well, do you want to pre-order Destiny? And I was like, well, yeah. Is it available? And they were like, just became available today. And yeah, so I did, and I got this awesome poster.
The more you know.
I am currently opening the email now, in which I should be able to receive, or the email account. For some reason, my email thing is being weird, so they can't connect to the mail server. Interesting. There we go.
Okay.
That was weird. Power up rewards right here. Access to the Destiny beta.
Boom.
I has the email. So even if you did it the first day, guys, you will get it.
And if you didn't, awesome. You can go into your store and say, hey, I didn't receive an email yet. And they should help figure it out. Because if you pre-order it from here on out, it'll just be printed on your receipt, the little 9-digit code that you need. And then to round out the Destiny news for this week, something is living deep inside of our moon. And it's not friendly. The latest Destiny gameplay trailer. So yeah, it features the Hive, which is basically the Destiny version of the Flood from just what they look like. But apparently, yeah, they've been living in our moon. And the moon isn't necessarily made of cheese. It is made of zombie-like organisms trying to murder us. Science. Space magic.
Space magic.
Space magic.
For sure.
Yes. So I will let Toast go on with this next topic because he has an amazingly beautiful voice, and all of
Do I
these
know?
numbers will just roll off his tongue. I
Oh,
guarantee
they
it.
will. So interestingly enough, we got some new information off of Valve's, Steam Machine, which their first prototype is fucking crazy ass powerful. There's going to be about 300 prototype units that are going to ship. I'm not sure where they're shipping to. Max could probably give you more
Yeah,
information on
they're
that.
shipping to whoever got into the beta program. So
Okay. Yeah. And these specs are fucking blowing me away, guys. It's GPU. Some of the units are going to be with an NVIDIA Titan, some with the GTX 780, and some with the GTX 760, and some even with the GTX 660, all of which are fucking incredibly powerful GPUs. Their CPU, a couple of the boxes are going to have Intel i7 4770, some with the i5 4570, and some with the i3. Again, still great CPUs. Its RAM is clocking in at 16 gigs with a DDR3. And a 3 gigabyte DDR5 for the GPU. Its storage, it looks like it's a 1 terabyte, 8 gigabyte hybrid SSHD. Its power supply, which I don't feel is uber necessary to state, but we will go with it anyway. Max is the internal 450 watt, 80 plus gold. And in terms of its dimensions, it's going to be 12 by 12.4 by 2.9. 2.9, of course, is in height. And just for some context, the dimensions of the Slim is 10.6 by 1039 by 2.95, and the PS3 Slim is 11.4 by 11.4 by 2.55. So essentially, Steam Machine isn't too much bigger than those consoles. The highest end possibility here with the Titan and the i7 CPU clocks in at around, wow, that's crazy, 1,850.
those are in dollar units.
Yep, dollar units, US dollar. That is nuts. On the lowest end of the ones that have the lower end specs, with the GTX 660 and the i3 CPU, could go for something around about 880. Still fucking tons of cash, but considering the power of it,
That's ridiculous.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, so Steam isn't going for cheap and efficient. Not well, they're going with efficient, but not necessarily cheap with their Steam Machine prototypes. Speaking of these prototypes, the piston from XI3, which was touted as originally as the first SteamBox, even though it's not officially a SteamBox, because Valve gave XI3 money to start their company, but not for this specific reason. Well, XI3 has their piston. It's coming out for $9.99 in, I think, November, if I remember properly. And Engadget got their hands on the piston, and they weren't terribly impressed with using it as a living room computer. Apparently, their user interface that's supposed to make it all easy to use from the comfort of your couch, apparently is not even up and running yet and showable to the press, while SteamOS is already usable and stuff like that. So Engadget wasn't terribly impressed with the piston. They said that XI3 said that the piston, it does have the ability for you to create partitions, so you can create a second boot OS, so you could use SteamOS, which would probably make it a lot better than it already is. However, it's not something that the piston will be launching with. So if you see this little tiny SteamBox and you think, hey, I want to get this, you might want to wait until some more people review it, because it's not looking like the most amazing thing on the planet at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a look at this, and a lot of these specs it's stuff that I was looking into when I was going to build my own rig when I finally end up moving in about a year. This is fucking crazy. I'm still just like fanboying over this. This is fucking awesome. Like, see, those are specs, man.
Yeah.
Like, that is some shit.
And to round out the last bit of big topics, in case you already don't know, the Battlefield 4 beta is now open to all players through October 15th. So you should get on that. It's really great. I haven't been able to play it on PC because of certain issues where it uses all of my load for my CPU for some reason, even though I don't even understand why, but I can't have nice things apparently. Nope. So I can't play it on PC, but I've been able to play it on the 360, and even though it's definitely not as detailed as it is on PC, it's pretty great, and I'm excited to get it on the Xbox One in the near future.
As am I. I was actually playing it right when I realized that it was 4 o'clock and we had to record. Um, and I just booted it up tonight or today. I loaded it last night, but I got sidetracked and ended up not putting it in, or playing it rather. And I gotta say, I was fairly impressed. There are, of course, a couple things in terms of graphical stuff and a couple weird things that happen, but it is the beta, of course. But in terms of the way in which it runs and its base, HUD display and the way in which it operates, I'm fucking loving it. It looks nice. It's
Yeah.
clean as...
I don't agree with how they changed up some of the controls, though, from Battlefield
Yeah.
3.
I had to kind of, I would click something and then it'd be like, wait, no, that wasn't right. What is this?
Like, switching kits is now you have to hold Y, and then holding X instead of B to get into vehicles and out of vehicles, and now B controls your height, like, if you're standing up, you're crouched, or you're prone, and then clicking the right stick in is your melee weapon now, and then the right bumper is how you point. It's not the back button anymore. And then to see the scoreboard, you have to hold the start button, and then the battle log is the back button.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
I was still trying to figure that fucking part out. I was like, every time I'd hit select, I'd get other stuff. And I was
you
just
get
like,
the battle log and the missions thing.
Yeah, I was
really
like, I don't want the battle log. I want to see, the standings right now.
Yeah. And then with the vehicles, they changed the default settings is you control vehicles almost like you do in Halo with just the sticks. And that really threw me off. So I switched that back to legacy controls where movement is on the triggers and stuff like that. Like, especially flying a helicopter, I cannot, do it with just sticks. Not crap like GTA 5. Cough, cough. It's impossible to fly vehicles in that game. It's terrible. Speaking of terrible things, DICE creative director Lars Gustafsson, apologies if you're listening, I said your name wrong. He said that we should be slapped for Battlefield 3's unlock system. Specifically, he's talking about, with vehicle unlocks and how, you didn't even have flares to start off when you had, helicopters and jets. And he's like, that's just dumb and that's stupid. And, how, it promoted, a long time play of the game, which is a good thing. But, not everyone has hours upon hours to have just flares on your jet, for example.
Yeah, I would always try to get into it, and around the time that I stopped fully playing Battlefield, which was a while ago, I actually regret that I got rid of the game.
Sure.
I kept trying to get into aerial flight, and it really fucking sucked ass, because every time I'd try, there was nothing I could do to stop being assaulted, you know what I mean? I was pretty much just dead in the air, and whenever I heard, the beeping of something tracking me, I was like, oh, let's just hope to God I can somehow maneuver out of this one.
Yeah, and we're not all, Top Gun pilots here, so it's not easy at all to evade stuff like that. Additionally, in that same interview, he said that the Battlefield Bad Company franchise will eventually make a comeback. However, they're more concerned right now with shipping Battlefield 4. They have Mirror's Edge 2, which is actually a prequel, and then also Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. So they've got a lot on their plate. But they said that Bad Company will eventually return.
So, Max, I have a question for you.
Oh, what is your question, good sir?
Do you like shooters?
I do like shooters.
Well then, let's have an entire fucking gaming season where we just come out with shooter after shooter after shooter, so all you get to do this coming winter is play shooters.
Shooter.
No, seriously though, that's kind of how I feel. We have Battlefield 4 coming, we've got Battlefront, there's Titanfall that I'm looking into, Destiny will be up soon. I just feel like it's just shooters all over the place.
Well, Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty are the only ones that are releasing 2013. Destiny is 2014, Titanfall is 2014, Battlefront's probably 2015.
I was not aware that I thought Titanfall was this winter, that is why.
Oh no, it's not a launch title. It could be late winter, as in super late December, but I think it's spring if I recall correctly.
Interesting.
So we're going to move on into some quick hits, and we're going to start off with Xbox Live. In case you already didn't know, in this month of October, Xbox Live Gold members will get Might and Magic Clash of Heroes for free until the 15th, and then Halo 3 for free starting on the 16th. So if you want games on demand for games that are old and you probably don't need them, you can get them for free. Yeah, Microsoft.
Yup. Fuck yeah.
And then a news post talking about how Dead Rising 3, Project Spark, and Just Dance 2014, because that's your favorite game, most anticipated game, Just Dance
No,
2014.
but Project Spark I'm looking forward to.
And it's
I gotta
talked about
admit.
how these are used on Xbox One Smart Glass capabilities. So with Dead Rising 3, your Smart Glass tablet or phone will act as your in-game cell phone. Kind of like how in GTA you have your little phone that does all those things. Well, in Dead Rising 3, your Smart Glass tablet will have your phone that does all those things, and you'll have exclusive missions that are only available via the Smart Glass application. And additional things like that, you can see like a mini map or like a map of the area, and like when outbreaks are going to occur in certain areas, so you can avoid areas, or you can know that you want to drive your vehicle through there and just kill all of the things. So
Kill all of the things.
Yes. Kill all of the zombies. You can also order like kits from a private military corporation, I believe, also as well, just to blow shit up. And then for Project Spark, this is old news, but they're saying it again. With Project Spark, you can use your tablet as a way to control Project Spark entirely. It's a mirror of the Xbox One Kinect version. So in case you don't like moving your hands and talking out loud, you can use your Smart Glass tablet as well to create
But talking
things.
out loud is so cool because I'm able to go computer enhance.
Zoom and enhance. Then Just Dance 2014, you can create live playlists. So like people that aren't dancing right now, or if you're in the process of dancing and you're really good and really talented, you can dance and like manipulate like a tablet or cell phone at the same time. You can create a playlist, like a live playlist, so you can set up tracks for the songs you want to dance to afterwards while you're dancing, or while you're sitting on the floor waiting for other people to finish dancing. And then you can add and remove songs. So, yeah.
So essentially, they heard that we like dancing, so they put dancing in our dancing so we can dance while we dance.
Leroy Jenkins!
Oh man! Also for the Xbox One game Fable Legends, it's apparently gaining support of the series steward Peter Molyneux.
Molyneux. There's a funny Twitter account called Peter Molyneux, and it's just a parody of Peter Molyneux. It's funny. But yeah, Peter Molyneux apparently saw some of Fable Legends at Lionhead because he doesn't work there anymore, and he thought, that's intriguing. So that's basically all that news story has to say. And then moving on, we had some Kinect news because you guys all are just clamoring for that Kinect news. The Kinect 2.0.
I want the Kinect 2.0, man. It's my most anticipated thing this year.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Kinect 2.0 sees your face, your muscles, and your soul. Maybe not that last one.
Oh man.
New videos explore the eyes and brains of Xbox One Kinect, so you can figure out how it works more. And so if you want to figure out how Microsoft is collecting data on you, you can do that. And more interestingly enough, out of the information, the new Kinect can understand two people talking at the same time. So if I and Toast are both bickering at the Xbox, we could. Coolness, I guess, if you need to have a game or application that requires two people talking at the same time. But yeah.
That's a little weird, I
Kinect
guess.
news.
Okay. So also in terms of the Kinect, in case you guys didn't know, by ordering the console, you're automatically signing away your rights to the NSA, and they have full rights to do whatever they'd like in terms of watching you with the Kinect, so you might want to be careful. You might want to get the console illegally.
Yeah, you might want to put on your tinfoil hats before you play it.
Yep. Definitely need tinfoil hats and big-ass sunglasses and shit.
Yeah, but seriously though, Microsoft said that by default, the Kinect won't send personal data and tracking information to Microsoft, and so it'll all be private and stuff
But
like
that's
that.
the thing. They say that it won't, but I don't have any guarantee, man.
You don't have a guarantee. Like, my cell phone could be listening to everything I do right now. In fact, I know it
could,
is
man.
because I have
It is,
Google Now
man.
on it. And so it's listening for me to say, okay, Google Now. But thankfully, I'm not, like, near my phone, so it didn't go off.
I'm just saying, man.
Put on your tinfoil hat and build a bunker.
I actually would love to have a bunker. I just
That'd be
think
cool.
it's cool for like shits and giggles. Like I want to build a bunker and have my game room be that bunker with a full-on vault door from Fallout.
Hey, whatever floats your boat and does not sink your ship.
Now, if I ever become rich, I have figured out my life dream. Thank you, Max. Thank you.
That's what we're here for. We're making dreams happen. I've seen NewsCast.
Oh man! Apparently, the Xbox One DVR feature is also going to let you record video commentary for your game clips.
So yeah, you can save your game clips because, all of your clips will be awesome. And then in the little editor, you can create commentary for it. So it doesn't appear that the Xbox One will include your live game commentary and voice chat in those clips, or even have that ability to. So you'll have to do any video commentary for your game clips after the fact. So yeah, cool things, I suppose.
I guess. I mean, I would hope that they at least record, like, for example, like mic audio live. Like, if we're having a battle, I'd like to be able to hear everyone. But
no, because you're asking for too many things. So poop.
I'm asking for too many things for a console that has that much processing power. I know.
Yeah, well, I don't know about Twitch and the Twitch streaming service. I don't know how it'll work for that. But the Xbox One DVR features, apparently you cannot record that live mic audio.
Because, that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. Also, speaking of which, I know that because I recently did get the job that I had wanted, I should have the money at the time, so I can get the Xbox Day 1 console, and the Xbox One Day 1 patch download is going to take 15 to 20 minutes, people!
Yeah, it'll take 15 to 20 minutes because it's going to make your console available for play offline and remove all of the potentially cool features about the Xbox One console. So, there's that.
I guess that's cool.
Alright, so that was Xbox news. We're gonna move on to some general news, because I'm a general. I was a general. Whatever.
You were at one point.
For like 3 years. Gosh dang it. Okay.
Like just general for 3 years?
And like overall different times.
Oh, okay.
I'm awesome like that. Interesting fact. In case you didn't know, the latest GTA Online update has now gone live for the Xbox 360, so GTA Online should be playable. I've had the opportunity to play GTA Online for just a couple hours after getting kicked out 4 different times and losing progress for different things. I decided to quit and play the Battlefield 4 beta. Because, yeah, it's still very finicky and kind of frustrating. But
because reasons.
It's just 6 days after the launch of the thing, so, who cares? Speaking of people that might care, 100 developer jobs have been added at Warner Brothers Games Montreal. They're the people that are currently making Batman Arkham Origins, and not Rocksteady. And this 100 developer job hiring has come via a $1.5 million investment from the Canadian government. So, yay you. Stimulus.
So, let me get this straight. The Canadian government recognizes the importance of the video game industry, but the United States government doesn't and just instead decides to shut down.
Well, yeah, because 38 Games, which was the studio that created Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, that company in Rhode Island that made that game. Apparently the governor of Rhode Island decided to shut down the studio and cause them to go bankrupt because they're a bunch of jerks. But that's unsubstantiated, and that's all allegedly. So
I don't care if it is alleged. If you guys live in Rhode Island and are listening to this, I hate you. I just want you to know that. Like right now. I don't like you. I don't like Rhode Island.
The FC podcast and NewsCast does not condone hating people just because they live in a certain state.
Oh, no, I do at least, because I fucking hate Ohio, and anyone who lives in Ohio. Fuck Ohio, grr.
I want to give you a high five right now.
Ohio is such on my shit list.
Go Blue.
Anyway. Also, and this one is one that really hits home for me, I was so excited earlier when I heard that the Half-Life 3, name or whatever you want to call it, had been trademarked in a European database. Apparently it's now been removed from the European database.
Yeah, so it appears as if the people that filed the trademark weren't necessarily Valve at all. And so Valve caught wind of this, and allegedly this whole thing was fake, and we don't have any more Half-Life 3 news, except part of the Valve database was revealed for a certain amount of time, and apparently there are 2 teams potentially working on Half-Life 3 or Half-Life related projects. So there is some hope. However, our hope has been dashed by a significant amount.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we always kind of get a bit of something, and then we just get kicked straight in the balls like right away.
Yeah,
Like
one
it's like,
step
nope.
forward, 5 steps back.
Yep.
And in case you
Interestingly
were
enough,
here, in case you were listening last week on the FC Newscast, we talked a little bit about how the NCAA football franchise was not going to happen anymore. Well, the people that sued EA and the CLC and the NCAA, they represented the college football players, say that killing the NCAA football series was not their intent. Well, typically when you sue people and you cause them to, incur damages, and these damages are so large that it makes more sense business-wise just to not make the product anymore. Yeah, that probably
yeah.
was your intent by suing all those people. So thanks, lawyers and college football players. However, I do agree with your argument that the NCAA should not be making money off of you when they do all the time. And I think it's kind of dumb how you guys can't get paid because NCAA makes billions of dollars off of your names every single year. So yeah,
Yep.
hypocrisy. And in case you
At
wanted
its
a
finest.
glimpse at the work being done in College Football 15, right up to its abrupt end, including new features and customization features, which actually would have been really cool, there's a link down below, and you can click on it, and it'll take you to a Kotaku article, if I'm not mistaken, and you can read up on that, and you can be more informed as a human being.
Before we go on to this next point, I did have a quick question. Max, would you know if somebody could technically just go in and not under Valve's name, just file for a trademark for Half-Life 3 under the name if they really wanted to fuck them over?
Valve could sue them because it's an existing franchise.
But, because it is, okay, even though can't change the number, interesting.
That's just my rudimentary opinion and understanding. I don't know how Europe's patent system and trademark system works.
Yeah.
But it would seem like because of the history, like someone can't create the iPhone 6 and have them not be Apple that's doing that, for example.
Okay then.
The more you know. Do.
Carrying on. Also, the Borderlands 2 100,000 loot hunt sweepstakes has been announced, and apparently awesome loot is awaiting you beginning October 11th.
So yeah, this is a new promotion from Gearbox and all of their retail partners that are offering prizes. And you can win up to $100,000 in loot just by playing Borderlands 2. And apparently a bunch of rare and crazy and random weapons will be dropping in just for different situations. And using those weapons that you pick up and killing certain amounts of people in certain time periods that they set up, you will be unlocking different community rewards for everyone else just by playing along and playing Borderlands 2. Because this is their obvious way of getting you to play Borderlands 2 even more because all of these new games are out and stealing all of your time.
Pretty
cough,
much.
cough, GTA. Cough.
Pretty much.
Cough.
Oh, man.
So yeah, Maxis, the people behind SimCity, they are now exploring the possibility of making an offline mode for the always online version of SimCity. If you don't remember that whole debacle, SimCity is an always online game, and the launch of it was absolutely terrible, similar to the launch of GTA Online. However, SimCity users weren't forewarned that it was going to be always online and that the launch was going to suck, so that people couldn't actually play the game, and any of the things that they created had the potential to just be deleted. So, as a SimCity fan myself, I didn't even consider the game because of its always online DRM and BS like that. But now, finally, after like a year now of it being out, they're looking at the possibility of making an offline mode. So, as there is a downside to always online because EA didn't have enough servers because they're a bunch of jerks. But Microsoft has 300,000 servers, so that's okay.
Well then. Meh.
Moving on, we have some Bioshock Infinite news. The new DLC called Burial at Sea, it's 2 parts. A new trailer has come out, and it's like an 80s-esque, like, mockumentary style of, like, the hunt for Rapture. And it's, like, really, really cool. And when I first watched it, I'm like, Far Cry Blood Dragon? Because I was using the same, like, doo-doo-doo, like, old VHS tapes and stuff like that. And it's really cool. And I'm really excited for Burial at Sea, even though I don't actually own Bioshock Infinite. So I might just be like watching people play it because it looks like it's going to be cool. Because the first part you'll be playing as Booker DeWitt, and he'll be a private eye in Rapture, with Elizabeth being someone that wants you to find a lost girl, a lost small child. And then the second part of it has you play as Elizabeth herself. So that'll be an entirely new dynamic, and possibly and potentially awesome.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Oh, mang.
So the last bit of general news that we have is
It's
the
sad.
great and illustrious Tom Clancy, who wrote so many novels, and many of his novels and ideas were put into movies, The Hunt for Red October, and then video games, for example, as well. Tom Clancy has died at the age of 66 due to complications from a previous illness, and I believe, if I remember properly, it was... Yeah, he died in the hospital. I don't remember the specific reason why. I feel bad now.
I am sad-faced at this news.
Yeah. So the great
I
Tom
actually
Clancy.
very much enjoy Tom Clancy.
Yes. And there's actually, I just saw a trailer for a new movie based off of one of his characters coming out with Chris Pine and some woman, I forget her name, some actress.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, of course.
Sure. Sure.
I just want Joseph Gordon-Levitt to be in, like, everything.
Be in all the things.
Be in all the things, yes.
Okay, so moving on from that sad news, we're going to move into PlayStation 4 news.
Because meh.
And Assassin's Creed 4 uses the PlayStation 4 touchpad, that little thing at the top, in a new and interesting way. They're using it as how the way you can control your map. Because the touchpad is clickable, like you can push it in. So if you push it in, it opens up the map, and then you can use it like Google Maps on your phone. You can like pinch to zoom and zoom out, and you can move around, and it's a lot more accurate than using your thumbsticks and stuff to navigate the map, and it's a lot faster and more natural. So that's cool, I suppose. Additionally, the PlayStation 4 controllers will have their basic functions available on PCs at launch. In case you didn't know, the DualShock 3 for the PlayStation 3, you could not pair that with a PC unless you went through like a bunch of different ridiculous steps. And it was confirmed on Twitter that you actually have the ability to plug in your PlayStation 4 controller and have the buttons and D-pad and some sticks work like
Your
a normal
mom's
game
my
controller should.
D-pad.
You know, no.
I
Just go away.
had to. Oh man. Also, Sony has revealed that PS4 exclusive Killzone Shadowfall's file size is around 50 gigs.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So, for a console that only has 500 gigabytes of storage, its main launch title is like
1/10.
Hermargerd.
You guys want to talk about comparison? How big was Battlefield 3 if you installed it? Do you remember? I believe it was like somewhere around, I want to say like 6 or 8 gigs.
Yeah, I don't recall.
I want to say that it was somewhere in there. Somebody can correct me if they're wrong, but even then, even if you don't need a comparison, 50 gigs is fucking massive.
Yeah. So that'll be a happy fun time for everyone trying to download that thing day one.
Oh yeah.
Considering the PlayStation's track record of downloads, you better be getting a physical copy of that damn game.
Yup. Like, I don't even think I would, like, opt for downloading that one.
Well, apparently they have, like, the download and play as you download type thing, but you still have to have a certain amount of the game downloaded. So, yeah. Fun stuff and things, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just talking about stuff, like, about 1 gig of information, to put it into perspective, is one full movie in about 1080p. We're talking the size of 50 of those movies. So any of you guys out there that, torrent, which, by the way, the FC podcast does not in any way, shape, or form condone illegal downloading, cough, cough, I don't know what you're talking about. That's 50 of them being downloaded at once. That's a lot.
Yeah, you better have a pretty good ISP. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You better not have any data limits either, because if you do, I apologize.
Oh, that would suck. You get like halfway through it,
Yeah.
and then shut down. Oh.
But no, you just be charged for it.
Well, yeah.
Like ridiculous fees. So yeah, you get a bonus for playing it. And bonus. Then there's a flyer flying around the room. That's cool. Okay. Our question for this week would be relating to some stuff we've already seen on the SC forums. Would you like to see a full-scale Battlefield 4 war on the Xbox One? Would you like to have game nights only or a mini war? Let us know, because we like controversial topics. Toast, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to abstain from talking about it at the moment because I've been discussing it ad nauseum in War Council stuff. Yeah.
Oh, you War
Keep your
Council
eyes
guys,
closed.
you're so fun. Personally, I would probably go with just game nights only, but have them be almost a weekly thing, because that'd be fun. And I
Okay,
like
fuck
fun.
it. Max talked about things. I'll do it anyway. I'll stop being boring. If it wants to be done, I'd be fine with game nights. I think it'd be fun. I plan on playing Battlefield 4 quite a bit, especially being one of the few games that's really, really good that I'm looking forward to at launch of the new console.
Agreed.
And I've tried it out today. I love it. I was weird. I never really liked Battlefield 3 when I first started playing, and then somewhere like a year after I got rid of it, it just like clicked for me, and I was like, this is what I want to play. It was so weird. Like all of a sudden I was like, this is so amazing. Why did I not like this originally? What is wrong with me?
Well, many things, obviously.
Many things, of course. I'm just fucked up in the head. But anyway, I could go for a full-on scale separate war sim even. But that gets tricky, and I wouldn't say that I'd want it under the FC name.
Okay. That's Toast's official opinion, so if he changes it at all, call him a flip-flopper, and like you do all the politicians, and throw shoes at him.
No, that's been my take the whole time. I don't think I flip-flopped at all. I've told pretty much everybody I'm fine with it, and I'm fine with it being even connected or affiliated with FC, but I don't want it to be FC in general because I don't for me, it comes down to a matter of principle. For example, the name is Forerunner Conflict. Forerunners is a Halo thing, therefore the community is a Halo community. But I digress. People would say the name isn't important, so whatever.
Then to end out the discussion for this FC newscast, a dude has tried selling a copy of GTA 5 for the PC on eBay. Well, first of all, GTA 5 is not out on PC at all. There is a 500,000, petition, 500,000 signatures on a petition to port it to the PC. But this person that's trying to sell this thing on eBay, or may have already sold it,
it comes on a disc.
A disc.
D-I-S-K. Not a disc. D-I-S-C.
So, like,
disc.
We're talking 1 megabyte floppy disks here.
Yep, that is not a joke. And if you actually pull up the link, which will be below, you can see it. This guy apparently has just taken a floppy disk and used like whiteout to write
like a silver Sharpie, and just like wrote GTA 5 on it. And he's like, selling my PC version of GTA 5. Awesome game. Finished already, so not really playing it anymore. Hard to find for PC. Requires a decent PC to run it. As you can see in the second images, the disc has no scratches. What you see is what you get. And then Kotaku's like, seems legit.
Yep, totally seems legit. I love it. Oh, man.
Oh, the internet. I love you.
This should be interesting, to say the least. I would actually totally even buy that. Am I the only person that misses floppy disks? I
No.
am, huh? Okay,
I used floppy disks as a young child in grade school, and they were not fun to, like, bring around.
I loved them, though.
To each their own.
To each their own. Like, I don't know if I'd say that I would go back to floppy disks, but if somehow a floppy disk style storage device could be created with modern, data usage, I think it'd be cool because they were fun to use. And whenever you look at floppy disk, you think computer like that.
They're just not they're not portable though. They're too big to be portable.
I would disagree with that, but okay.
Eh.
If I can I mean, that isn't really true. I could probably stuff like 100 of them in my laptop bag.
Yeah, but not everyone has a laptop bag. A flash drive, you can put it on your key ring, put it in your pocket.
Well, fuck them. I don't care about them. I hate flash drives.
I love flash drives. I live off of flash drives. So you've offended me.
I don't care if I've offended you. You're a horrible person anyway.
Well, that's just a great way to end this FC newscast, isn't it?
I think everyone in this community is horrible. We're all horrible people. Just we don't realize it yet. Ah!
So yeah, send us listener mail and tell us why we're horrible.
Yeah, you totally should. As well as let us know if you buy that copy of GTA 5 like I would, and what you guys think of a full-scale Battlefield 4 war, and or game nights, and or mini war, or whatever the fuck you think about it.
Yeah. Fun stuff and things.
fun stuff and things. So from everybody here at the FC Newscast, I want to remind all of you guys to keep tuning in, send us that listener mail, and as always, stay classy.
And at least the suffix of my gamer tag doesn't change every 6 months. Top, top, Brad.